This is Baruch Fleischman here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel, and we have short day for me today because I'm going on the road, and so therefore I want to get right into this piece of the Tiva Kavanos and the Shara Kavanos. Actually, we're going to learn today just the words of the Rav himself. We're beginning on page Lamed because the quest here is, who's Mordechai? What does it mean to be Mordechai? Obviously, Mordechai is a person, a physical human being. We want to know the secret here. There's something that is projected into Mordechai. So let's see if we can hear a bit of it. Maybe a drawing will work out good. Now we had said before, we're talking about the period of time which is called the Dormita, which leads to the Nesira, which leads to the Yichud of Zohar Vanok, up and down, completely at the same height, face to face. This itself is Geula. The thing about it is that Haman was a master astrologer. There are, as we learned, if you were listening to the early morning shir, there are olomos, and all of the olomos have their own cycles. They all have their own patterns. I don't know if cycle works in every place outside of Malchus, but they all have basically that. So we see different things in different places, and Haman was able to see the bigger picture. But unfortunately, from the position of looking at Kedusha from the world of Klippa, he's not able to see clearly the whole picture because he doesn't understand that the Ein Sof Baruch Hu is behind the whole thing. He can't hear that. That's the problem the Gentile has. It can't conceive of a Yud Kei Vav Kei. So then it says like this, V'hu, that's like this. Now the Mochin in the time of the Dormita leave Zer Anpin and go into the Nukva Zer Anpin. The Mochin are being carried by the Yisodas of Abba and Ima. Hoy Yisod the Ima Nishlam because of the Zer Anpin. So this is what it is. In Zer Anpin, the Yisod of Ima coming in, now we're talking about Bina, so we said change the name Ima is Bina. Bina coming into Zer Anpin, her Yisod extends down to his chest. And there's a whole Torah about what happens with her Yisod down to his chest. But remember that Bina always rides with Abba. She surrounds Abba. I have a little drawing here. It's really not nice, particularly nice, but just imagine that the letter A that I'm putting in here refers to Abba, and then surrounding him is Bina. So it's like I'm drawing it here as a tube. And one thing I want that, as I'm making these drawings, and I'm not making any disclaimer about it, is that in space, there's no real up and down, right, left, inside, outside. That doesn't exist in spirituality. But what we have here is a method to try to be, and it has to be remembered, to try to remember that these are not physical forms, and we only can see things in physical form, but they're to open doors for us to be able to see relationships, because it's in the relationships that all the truth can be seen, and our job is to bring them all into oneness. Okay, we saw that. So now we have this idea that Abba and Ima, that Abba is traveling inside of Ima. So he says like this. He said, "V'hayisod the Abba shuhu yoser aruch kanoide." So what actually happens is that here in this drawing, I was trying to show that here's the Yisodas of, let me get down a little bit more, of Abba v'Ima coming into Rachel, which is the Nok. And they're coming into her. And it's the same thing. The Yisod of Ima is short. It's always short. And it stops at the Chaza of Ima, of Rachel, of Malchus. But the Yisod of Abba goes right straight through the opening of the Yisod of Ima. It goes all the way down through, actually in this case, it goes through the Yisod of Malchus, of Rachel. Now here's what he's going to say. He said, let me get back to the printed word. So he had said that the Yisod of Abba is very long. Hoya Nishla B'Siyam Yisod the Zer Anpin. So when it was inside of Zer Anpin, it stopped at his Yisod. Below Hoya Yotzim B'chutz the Yisod Klal. And that's where it stopped. But you're going to have a different situation now. Because the Nukva tends to be shorter anyway. But now the Mochin have come into the Nukva of Zer Anpin. So it's got a big hole and it's short. Muchwa chushach yisod the Abba yispashet v'yatzim b'chutz liyisod nukva l'chutz. So now when the yisod of Abba comes in, which is very long, it's going to go right straight through the yisod of Ima, and it's going to go right straight into the nukva zeranpin and pass by the level of her chest. And when it's out there, it's blazing. So we know like this, when it was inside of the yisod of zeranpin, who bechinas atar shal yisod the Abba. Let's understand, he wants to say that inside of Zer Anpin it was considered to be the extension of the yisod. Shehi bechinas hamalchus the Abba, which is the malchus of Abba. So the malchus of Abba went into the yisod of Zer Anpin. That's really important to understand. The extension, I think maybe we could get it into this drawing somehow. The extension of the yisod of Abba, and here he's talking about Zer Anpin. So let's say this is Abba coming in. This part that is extending all the way in through down into the yisod of Zer Anpin, all of this here, this area, he says, is what? This is called his malchus. Malchus. Because it's an extension. Malchus, I like the way I spelled that. This is all an extension. The yisod is back here, and then there has an extension, a tip on it. And the tip, that he wants to tell us also that the concept of the tip, that is the extension of the yisod, it becomes later the malchus, and it is the malchus of the yisod, let's say, so to speak. Let's go back. Let's read that again. When it was inside of the yisod of Zer Anpin, it didn't stick out. It's only the yisod of Abba, shehi bechinas hamalchus the Abba. So the malchus of Abba is what he's saying, extends itself all the way down into the yisod of Zer Anpin. Ve'ein safek ki ha'ara zucha niglas b'malchus the Abba. So who have to understand that Abba is no longer clothed inside of Ima, that he is out there revealed, going into the yisod of Zer Anpin. Hi ha'ara gedola ma'od, and that light there is tremendous. V'hinei shorish, so he says that now this same light, I don't know if I said this wrong or if I just got slightly off, now this light is inside of Rachel, who is short to begin with. And the light sticks out. It goes, the light of Abba, which is a powerful, powerful light of Kedusha, is now out. V'hini shorish nishmas Mordechai, so therefore we see that the root of the neshama of Mordechai, chasam min ha'arahi, it came from this radiance that is coming from that yisod of Abba, which has outside now a blinding light of Kedusha. But the chein al yado, so that's the reason why through Mordechai there was a Chuas Yisrael, the salvation of the Jewish people, Bizman Ahu, at that time. Okay, that's the 10th shir here, and we'll see the inside of it next time.